Howdy, I'm Dwight Robler, class of '84. I'm a lecturer in the Department of Political Science, and I'm also a 26-year Air Force veteran.
Howdy, my name is Arthur Watson, and I serve as the Executive Director for Transition Academic Programs and Undergraduate Studies. Today, Dr. Robler and I want to talk to you about the partnerships between you, the student, the faculty, and your academic advisors. It is our goal for you to graduate in 4 years, and hopefully these collaborative partnerships take a key role in your academic progress. First, let's discuss the classroom environment. You, the student, are going to be responsible for your own learning. Yes, the faculty, they will give you the knowledge base, but it's your responsibility to take action to learn through active engagement, class participation, and being prepared for class. Here are a few tips which we found to be helpful for students. You may have heard them before, and that's okay, but they've shown to be helpful in student success. The first one is, sit towards the front of the classroom. Maybe not the first row, but at least the first 5 rows. This will help you become more engaged in the course material that the professor is presenting and with the professor. Next, come to class prepared. What does this mean? Read your course material before class. Look over your notes from the previous class before class. If you're hearing the information in class for the first time, unfortunately, you're probably already behind, so make sure that you come to class prepared. Next, we want you to introduce yourself to your classmates. You're going to be around your peers for 14, maybe 15 weeks out of the semester, and it's going to be important for you to get to know them. You'll have someone to share study groups with, someone to discuss the course material, and if for some reason you have to miss class, you have someone to get the notes from. So make sure you introduce yourself to your classmates. Next, we want you to ask questions. Please don't sit and struggle. Make sure you ask questions if there's something you don't know, something you may have missed. Ask those questions. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. And it's okay to be wrong. You know, a lot of times we learn from our errors, and your professors will have an opportunity to help you better understand. This next one may sound simple, but go to class. Please go to class. Statistics show that students who go to class consistently earn better grades than students who don't. So make sure you go to class. And believe it or not, your faculty know whether or not you're in class. And sometimes that could be the difference between an 89.9 being a B and that 89.9 being an A. So make sure you go to class. Also, make sure you utilize your course syllabus. You will have a syllabus for each of your courses. Essentially, your syllabus is the contract between you and your faculty member that outlines all of the expectations of your courses. It has deadlines and assignments, your instructor's contact information, and it outlines the course material. You're going to be responsible for knowing what's on your course syllabus. So when assignments are due, when it's exam time, it's going to be up to you to make sure that you know that. So utilize your course syllabus effectively.
I always tell my students that they've hired me as their guide. I'm not here to teach them. I'm here to lead them along a pathway in which there's knowledge on both sides of the path, and to point out the interesting things and to connect things and to help things make sense to them. But it ends up being their job to walk the path and learn the material. And so that's what faculty do, is we facilitate. We're there to help you learn how to learn, and when necessary, help you get out of that tough spot so you can get off and start rolling again. This is going to be a very different model than many of you experience perhaps in smaller colleges or in high school. And so engage in the opportunities that are there that the faculty member may offer to you, or that you may hear about elsewhere during this orientation, that help you figure out how you're going to learn while you're here. Also, office hours are very important. Faculty members are usually quite busy, and so they cannot be available to see students all the time. And so instead, they pick out times during the week, usually about 3 hours a week, in order to make sure that they're in their office so that students can come by and see them. However, that's not the only way we want you to engage. Often there's opportunities before the lecture and after the lecture, or before or after lab. Those are important times. Questions during class, that's important, as is email or whatever the means is that the instructor is going to explain in their syllabus is going to be the best way to reach them outside of class and outside of office hours. So it's very important to make sure that you let yourself be known. Okay? Have a personality here. You're not just a number. You're not just a student, you're a person. And so you need to be present. As Dr. Watson mentioned, in class, that's very important. But also in office hours, chats before and after class. Of course, we're not just talking about time to pass the day because everybody's busy. But the more the faculty member gets a chance to be able to know who you are and you get to know who the faculty member is, the learning process actually improves. Also, remember to communicate respectfully. This is not a place to use the language that you may use on social media. This is the place to be polite, to be formal or semi-formal, and to practice the skills that you're going to be using once you get out of here in the professional or business world. Also, make sure that you're honest. Not just, we're talking about the Aggie Honor Code here, making sure that you always don't cheat, don't plagiarize, do those other things, but no, we're talking about being honest with yourself. And when you are starting to sink, when you realize that you are not getting the material and you're getting behind, that's the time to be able to say, I need some help. And that's not an insult to you in any shape or form. That's what's supposed to happen. We're supposed to be challenging you. And it's those times that you can reach out to the faculty member, you can reach out to peer mentors, you can do a lot of different things in order to be able to begin fixing that problem. And it's a lot easier to fix when it's a small problem than when it's a big problem. Also, we too are people. Your faculty members have a lot of other interests. Some of them are academic and some of them are not. And if we mention our non-academic interests in class, then that's free game. We're inviting you to come and have a conversation with us about that. But if you're talking to a faculty member and you don't know what to say, ask them, hey, what have you been reading lately? What is your research interest? And then watch where things go from there.
So you've heard a little bit about the classroom and how to engage with faculty. Some of these components can relate to building positive relationships with your academic advisor. What is an academic advisor? Well, here at Texas A&M, they are professional staff members who are here to help you navigate your degree plan and guide you towards graduation. It is going to be your responsibility to schedule a meeting with your academic advisor. I suggest at least once a semester, if not more. And it's your responsibility to do that. Keep in mind, you have one academic advisor, but your academic advisor may have up to 300 students. So make sure you initiate that contact. Your academic advisor is going to have up-to-date knowledge about your degree plan. Now, I'm sure some of you have parents or older sisters or brothers, maybe a cousin or a friend who came to A&M before you. And guess what? That's not your academic advisor. Unfortunately, sometimes things change very rapidly with degree programs. So just because something was required for their program doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be required for your program. And your academic advisor is the person who has that up-to-date information for you. They can not only help you navigate your academic career here at Texas A&M, but they can also help you with a plethora of other things. Texas A&M University has invested in a lot of resources for you. So if you're having trouble academically, financially, even emotionally, your academic advisor can get you to the right resource on campus. Now, your academic advisor is not going to be your decision maker, but they're going to help guide you in making the right decision that's best for you. Now, it's going to be your responsibility, not your parents' responsibility or your friends, but yours, to be proactive in your communication with your academic advisor. Make sure you come prepared in your meetings. For example, if you have questions, write them down beforehand so you don't miss anything in your meeting, and your meeting can be very effective with your academic advisor. Always be honest and transparent about your academic and career goals with your academic advisor so that you can make the best plan for your time here at Texas A&M. We're not mind readers, so we want to make sure that we are giving you the best advice possible. So always be open, transparent with us. And make sure to maintain your contact information and update it in Howdy if it changes. Sometimes your academic advisors, if they don't hear from you for a while, they'll reach out to you. So make sure you have updated phone numbers and email addresses in Howdy so that we make sure that we contact the right person.
It's really important to maintain as it says, a balance between the thing that you're supposed to be here doing and sometimes the thing that you really want to be doing. We're talking about the academics and the extracurricular. I hope that you'll find that academics can be a reward in and of themselves, but certainly there are many, many, many opportunities here that are worthwhile and that will take up a lot of your time if you're willing to give it. During your first semester here, though, it's important for you to realize that the university catalog says that for every hour that you're in class, you need to plan on spending 2 to 3 hours outside of class in order to be able to succeed, in order to be able to learn the material to the level that your professor expects you to learn it to. For my students, I tell them, you need to learn it until you can explain it to somebody else, be able to teach what it is that you've been taught. And so don't bite off too much more than you can chew during that first semester that you're here. Consider this. Consider perhaps taking on 1 or 2 extracurricular activities that aren't going to be too big during that first semester. Concentrate on the academics. And then after you have proven to yourself that you have figured out a good way to be able to pass and get the scores that you really want to get here at A&M, then you can expand that extracurricular activity as space allows. Also remember that all questions are actually good questions. Well, almost all questions, okay? I teach classes that are usually 300 students or more. And I put a lot of information in my syllabus and on my eCampus website in order to be able to support my students and answer a lot of their questions. And so I tell them at the beginning of the semester, if you're wondering when the next exam is, or you're wondering how much, how many points you need in order to be able to get an A or a B, that's all going to be provided for you. And I really want you to use the resources that have been provided to you with respect to information. That's going to be true for the advisors as well. There's going to be a lot of good things that are out there on Howdy. Now, at the same time, we realize that you're taking more than one course, and there's a lot of things going on in your life. So if you get mixed up and you can't find it, contact us anyway. We'll understand. And then there are many people that you can turn to for help. Your orientation session leader, your academic advisor. You can reach out and begin talking to faculty members over the summer if you wish to do that. If there's somebody whose research interest is interesting to you, there's an email address for them out there on the web. Feel free to use it. Before we leave, I want to tell you a quick story that ties in this importance between academics and academic advisors. I was a junior here, second semester. I was a physics major, and I hit a physics course that was completely beyond me. It was the next course in my trend or in my degree plan, and I was used to having to work really hard in these courses, but this one was completely almost like it was gibberish. I turned to my friends and I said, "Does this make sense to you?" And they said, "Oh yeah, all you have to do is put this together with that, and it all makes sense," but not for me. I'd exceeded the level to which I had actually understood the material because of decisions that I'd made up to that point. So I went to my academic advisor practically in tears, thinking about my commission, thinking about scholarships, thinking about all kinds of things that were at risk. And my academic advisor, who thankfully is still a professor emeritus here in the physics department today, sat me down and he said, "Dwight, I think I may have a solution for you." And he reached up on the shelf and pulled down that old paper catalog, because that's all we had back then, and said, "Sure enough, you're a Bachelor of Science right now. That's a program that you are pursuing. If you switch to a Bachelor of Arts, you don't have to take any more physics after this semester." And I said, "I'm in," okay? So I had to go to school that summer. I needed to get a minor. I needed to make some other changes, but I graduated on time. And so I'm forever indebted to my academic advisor. We hope that you'll remember some of the things that we've told you. I know that this is a lot of information coming at you, and so feel free to ask questions along the way. But we're really looking forward to meeting you and having you here on campus. So take care and gig 'em.
Welcome to Texas A&M University.